Two examples this week of sad and bad behavior by Prince Harry, showing that his relationship with his older brother and also the rest of the royal family is in such a shocking state.
Brothers divided a once unbreakable bond. Prince William and Prince Harry, once inseparable, bound by shared tragedy. The loss of their mother, Princess Diana, forged an unbreakable link. The world watched as the young princes grieved together. They became a symbol of unity and strength. Their bond, once a source of comfort, now seems fractured. The relationship is strained, a shadow of its former self. Public disagreements and accusations have replaced their once united front. What began as whispers of tension has become a deafening roar. The world watches now with sadness instead of sympathy. The fairy tale of the united brothers is crumbling. And at the heart of this rift lies Prince Harry, driven by a desire to control his own narrative, even if it means hurting his brother.
Let me bring in now Angela Levin. She is, of course, our royal mastermind, but also the biographer of Queen Camilla and Prince Harry. And Angela, I know you've been very upset this week to see the way that Prince Harry and William were unable to come together for the Diana Awards. Can you explain what happened?
Yes, I thought that was profoundly sad because they both love their mother, still do, obviously, and they couldn't even get together to send one letter or to be together saying this is the anniversary of it, the 25th anniversary, and it gives awards to young people, the best people who come up with something really original and interesting about the world or the company they're in and all that. And they just couldn't do it. And William sent a very nice letter that his mother would be delighted, and Harry did a little film, but he had two people on either side of him, so that was one up, I suppose, and saying again about his mother and how pleased she would be. But to see these two boys doing virtually the same thing for the same person who loved them both, and yet they couldn't even get together for 5 minutes.
Harry's truth bombs? The rift widens. Prince Harry's recent actions have sent shockwaves through the royal family. His memoir, Spare, became a platform for airing grievances. He exposed private conversations and family conflicts for the world to devour. Every page seemed to widen the chasm between him and William. His interviews were equally explosive. He sat down with Oprah Winfrey, a global icon, and painted a damning portrait of the royal family. He accused them of coldness, neglect, and even racism. These accusations, leveled on an international stage, left an indelible mark on the House of Windsor. William, ever the picture of royal restraint, has remained largely silent. But his silence speaks volumes. The hurt is evident. His brother, once his confidant, has become his attacker.
And do something joint, even if they did it one after each other closely, and one made a joke, and they couldn't. But I don't blame William, because I think Harry is so spiteful and nasty now, and so determined to get his own back on his life, really, that I thought it was extremely, extremely sad. And of course, Diana loved them both, and her main aim is that she wanted them to be able to be with each other all their lives, because they would be able to help each other in a way that nobody else could do that. She was very proud of them. She understood the differences in their character, but she felt that they could stay together, and she did keep telling them that. It was very important, and that's what she wants. And that actually annoys me when people like you show me or tell me about what he's doing, what he's saying about his mother, because she wouldn't be pleased with what he's doing. And he must know that, because she wanted him to love his older brother no question. But he won't give in to that. He won't give in to that at all.
No, it's
Right.
deeply upsetting, but I'm
Yes.
with you. You can't blame William given Harry's behavior remains so abominable, because there was another example of that this week, Angela. And I want to just, while I'm explaining this, just take a look at the video in question. So this was the big release of the Archewell charity successes of the year. Now, it's a whole other story that I actually don't think this charity has been successful at all. It only took in $1 million. It gave $250,000 to Joe Biden's daughter, which is clear political interference. But let's just put that to one side, okay? Because what was so shocking about the release of this video, Angela, is it was timed to directly compete with the state visit to the United Kingdom, because Harry and Meghan, anytime there are lots of beautiful pictures of the royal family, and especially Prince William and Catherine, who looked so united and happy during the state visit, they decide we have to overshadow it. What did you make of it?
The public attacks, the relentless truth-telling have taken their toll. The relationship between the princes hangs by a thread. Diana's legacy tarnished, a mother's nightmare. Princess Diana would be devastated. This is the overwhelming sentiment echoing across the globe. She dedicated her life to protecting her sons, shielding them from the harsh realities of royal life. Now, Harry himself is shattering that protection, exposing the very wounds she fought so hard to heal. Diana championed compassion and empathy. She taught her sons the importance of unity and forgiveness. Yet, Harry's actions seem to contradict these core values. His public attacks on his family, particularly William, feel like a betrayal of Diana's memory. The media frenzy surrounding Harry's revelations is relentless. Headlines scream of betrayal and conflict. Diana, known for her grace and poise, is now linked to this unseemly public battle.
Well, I think I'm used to that too. You can be absolutely sure that either half an hour beforehand,
Yeah.
at the same time, half an hour later, she will be doing something. We saw that even with her cooking, luxurious cooking and jam jars, that she turned up um, when it was the first time that Catherine was, allowing people to see her. Now, I can't think of anything more spiteful and unnecessary. But that's what she did. And there's some sort of pulling that it's trying to get their own back somehow. And they never will, because
Right.
Harry and because the Catherine and William have very different personalities. They don't behave in the same way. So it's just such a waste of time, and it's tragic actually. But they rub it in. They rub it into any bad part that they can find or will look for, and just to spoil it.
They could have released this video any time as well. That was the thing, Angela. It wasn't at all timely. It didn't have to go out on this particular day. It wasn't connected to a particular event. So I agree with you. It just really seems spiteful. Angela, we do have news out of the Invictus Games this week. Can I ask you about this? Katy Perry signed up to perform at the ceremony, but the Royal News Network has posted on X that they don't think this is as big of a get as the Invictus Games are making it out. The Royal News Network tweeted, an organization past its prime, paying for talent past its prime. At this point, Katy Perry isn't the get it used to be. Her last album was an absolute bomb, and it's been embarrassing to see her desperately clinging to relevance in the music industry. So
Yeah.
maybe they don't think it's not as big a deal as what Harry does.
Well, maybe Harry doesn't think it's such a big deal, but it's better than no deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if they've really persuaded her to come along, and she does live very close to them,
Yes.
the name still rings a bell in many people's ears. I feel sorry for people who sing very well and then their voices go. And they want to boost things because there are still tickets to sell, which is unusual. He has given a load to some children, two each, which again, it shows that there isn't actually full seats everywhere. But I think it's a shame, but at least they want somebody there to sing, and it might look good, and people who haven't actually heard her sing lately might think, well, we all must go there because she was wonderful, and go and listen. But I think it's a desperation, really. And I think there's not that much money that they can pay for singers now. It's very difficult. It's very expensive to put on these Invictus Games, and if they don't get enough money being offered to them, then it's even more difficult, because Harry and Meghan get the clothes. Well, Meghan really gets clothes from there. They get their travel paid for, and they get accommodation paid for. So they're quite expensive. So if you've got to have a singer, you can't actually get someone who's right at the top because it's just too expensive.
Her legacy, once a beacon of hope and humanitarianism, is now overshadowed by her son's feud. Betrayal or self-preservation? Can Harry's actions be justified? Some argue that Harry's actions are justified. They see a man finally breaking free from a suffocating system. They applaud his courage in speaking his truth, regardless of the consequences. They believe he is honoring Diana's legacy by fighting for his own happiness, just as she did. Others, however, see only betrayal. They view Harry's actions as a selfish pursuit of personal gain at the expense of his family's reputation.
The thing is, Angela, that I find quite concerning about the whole Katy Perry thing is that, she's in a relationship with Orlando Bloom.
Yes.
And Orlando Bloom provided the voice of Prince Harry in that horrific comedy series called The Prince, which was all about mocking Prince George in ways I'm not even going to actually put out there, because I think it's so inappropriate to be talking about a very young boy in, let's just say, an adult way. It was very, very inappropriate. And so to me, I feel like Orlando Bloom is not a pro-royal guy. He has decided to go to the Harry and Meghan camp.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps he just decided he'd help Harry out. I don't know how to criticize him because I don't know him and I've never talked to him. But I think sometimes if people plead with you to do something, you do it, but you think it's not so terrible, and then afterwards you think, oh my God, what have I done here? I think there's lots of ways to do that. You're at a party and suddenly you're saying things which you really don't wish you could say or do say.
They question his motives and accuse him of hypocrisy. They argue that his truth-telling has crossed a line, causing irreparable damage to the institution he once represented. The debate rages on. Is Harry a victim or a villain? Is he seeking justice or revenge? Only time will tell what truly motivates him. But one thing is certain: his actions will have lasting consequences for himself, his family, and the legacy of his mother. Diana's legacy, a beacon of hope now clouded in doubt. Diana's legacy is at a crossroads. Her compassion, her empathy, her unwavering dedication to humanitarian work, these remain an inspiration. But the shadow of her son's feud looms large. The world watches, heartbroken, as the brothers wage war with words. The hope is that they will find a way back to each other, to heal the rift and honor their mother's memory. But for now, the future of Diana's legacy remains uncertain. The fairy tale has taken a dark turn. The question is, can it ever recover its happy ending?